How Europe affects us in our everyday lives now in Europeans.
Paris, France, May 1968, at the height of the student protests. Those spring days 40 years ago saw the France of General de Gaulle shaken to the very core. The famed Latin Quarter, the epicentre of the riots back then, is now a magnet for tourists, and with them comes money. But does the revolutionary spirit of 1968 still linger in the youth of 2008? Let's head off to the Rue Le Goff, where the first barricades went up.
As you can see, the cobbles have gone. Obviously, the context has changed. Everything has changed. It's a bit like what Daniel Cohn-Bendit said. Forget 1968, turn the page.
The capitalist system, to defend its privilege, is taking violence. We will defend us with violence.
Today we face other challenges, the environment, globalization, and above all, the construction of a new Europe.
Adriano is a new type of radical. He manages the team at Café Babel. It's an interactive online magazine, a reference point for new European thinking. So let's put the question. What remains of the ideals of 1968 in the current Euro generation?
For me, it's an Erasmus year in another city. Have fun, drink a few beers, mix with people from other countries, learn a new language. It's a political engagement. It's more individual and more profound than shouting the slogans of Chairman Mao.
So, political engagement for the children of Erasmus can be found in a few demis. It's not so simple, Fernando assures us.
These days, May 1968 on a European level just wouldn't happen. On the other hand, in 2005, there was a pan-European protest movement against the European Constitution. But it wasn't called revolution, because times have changed. The youth of today express themselves differently. They're a lot less hot-headed, more pragmatic. Strangely, that is one of the positive effects of the social revolution of '68. It was the female influence. Politics became feminized, not because there were more women, but their presence influenced the men, even though there were more men involved. It kind of transformed political reality. The women added a certain discretion.
They were strange times. The French entrant for Eurovision 1968, Masael's La La La, was a pure pop mini-skirted winner, while in Spain, Franco's fascist party was in power. For others, the ideas of 1968 marked a turning point for female emancipation. Brune Antoine has taken the ideas of the 60s sexual revolution a stage further. On her blog, you can learn all you wish to know about the sex life of the Euro generation. So let's ask this young Parisian if free love, one of the late 60s slogans, is something that can still be enjoyed.
Well, for us, the children of the 80s, the idea of free love never arose because of the AIDS epidemic. I suppose this generation is a little more cautious as a result. But May 1968 played a huge role in bringing about the emancipation of women. The pill, abortion rights, all these things helped, but it has had side effects on the male population. They are less responsible. Their role in life is less defined. I think it's brought about an identity crisis for a lot of men.
May 1968 also brought about a cultural revolution, radical writers, innovative theatre. For Katerina, the link back to '68 is clear.
The 68ers, without doubt, gave culture a kick up the backside and have had a big influence on contemporary creativity. It's more democratic today. Anyone can produce art or fiction or music and display their work on the internet.
Kreativ tätig werden. Man kann heutzutage im Internet ausstellen.
Culture may be more democratic, but not uniform or staid, according to Katerina, but she's surprised by recent trends.
Warum hat ein Film wie der jetzt in Frankreich rauskommt, Bienvenue chez les Ch'tis, herzlich willkommen?
How can a film like Welcome to the Ch'tis be such a big hit in Europe? Ch'ti is a dialect from northern France. I see a return to regionalism, and it goes against the new Europe.
Zu einem Regionalismus ist eigentlich ein Tritt in den Hintern für Europa, muss ich mal sagen.
We see a return to traditional values, a certain nationalism, even regionalism.
Also zu einem sehr starken, vielleicht auch Nationalgefühl, nicht mal national, Regionalgefühl.
The demonstrations in the US against the Vietnam War spread to Berlin, Rome and London, while in the Czech capital, the Prague Spring was in full swing. Protests had spread beyond the borders of the Latin Quarter. The discontent was clear, however, they were all set in their own context.
These days, to support a cause is easy. You go on the internet. Look at Tibet. All the blogs slagging off Chinese repression. They are there for all to see. You don't have to take to the streets. Demonstrations still play a role, but the forms of protest have changed.
Time for a drink in the Café Universal with Nabila. Through her eyes, the biggest fights her generation face are not in Paris or Europe, but further afield.
The battles that they were fighting back then, they managed to get that across for the first time, you know. As that's already been done in the past, now maybe our only worries are how are we going to succeed, or if someone is holding us back from something in terms of our career. But I'm a bit sceptical as well, because I'm English. I was born in England, but I'm Pakistani at the end of the day. So something like 1968, it's a very European phenomenon for me, because just at the moment in Pakistan, we're beginning to battle for our rights. Students are now coming out into the street and stuff. So it's something, we're such a young democracy, you know. So to have a phenomenon like this over there, it really puts 1968 into a box, you know. You can see it from a different perspective, even if I am European.